first phase to be a soft launch, kind of a friends and family stage. And if you're here now, it's because somebody thought of you in that regard. A true friend, family. We got a lot of family that's involved, which is exciting. And now we're kind of moving into a broader sense, a broader approach in a pre-market space. And we're excited about that. And that, of course, is going to, within that space, there's a lot of exciting things that are going to happen. The first is you're going to see the launch of the Cirrus Safe product. That will be the first SaaS product of many, many that will come into the Gnodi blockchain and represented through Cirrus. And we are really excited about this product, okay? And, I think a lot of people look at it and say, well, it's a storage product. How sexy can it be? But let me tell you something. Some of you have Dropbox, some of you have Google Storage or Apple Storage or whatever the case may be. And all of your storage is being sent to just a regular device, a regular storage device of some kind. And of course, we know that storage is being exploited, right? That data is being sold, it's being distributed here and there, even down to the pictures, which is really quite an invasion of privacy. Unfortunately, we all checked the box and said it was okay. But you don't read that 20 pages of fine print. You just buy it. And then our data gets sold and resold. It makes me sick. Anyway, here we are. So here's what kind of becomes kind of sexy about data storage, if we want to say that. We're going to put all of our data storage in a blockchain. Okay, we're going to lock it in a blockchain. And there is no better form of security than a blockchain for data protection. And I mean, it's unhackable, it's unbreakable, it's immutable, it's unchangeable. You can't alter it. You can't take from it, right? And a lot of you understand how the blockchain works. It's peer-to-peer, hundreds of different, or thousands in some cases, of different peers, and little bits of data are stored in all of them. Can you imagine to hack it? You'd have to hack them all simultaneously and then reassemble all the data in the right configuration. Good luck, right? And so it is unbreakable. And so it's not like and many of these other storage capacities where you just go in and just hack, one simple server and just take all the data. So it's pretty powerful. It's very robust. You're not going to pay any extra money for that, by the way. We'll just put your data and your pictures and everything that's important to you in a blockchain. We'll protect it. And what's really cool about this is ultimately, if you accumulate a lot of data and one day you want to sell it, well, that's your right to do that. It's your right to do that. And you could probably make some good money doing that, right? So that'll be the first product, Cirrus Safe, and that will come out into the marketplace. I think it's going to be priced somewhere around 12 bucks. Super reasonable. It'll have a high volume associated with it. And imagine if you've got, I don't know, 1,000 or 1,500, 2,000 people on that product, either as distributors or customers. That's a nice little part of your check every month, right? But here's the best part. When that $12 gets purchased, we're going to carve out $7 or so for volume. We're going to take a little bit to run the company, obviously. Then we're going to carve out a really nice piece, and we're going to go into the exchange, and we're going to buy tokens out of the exchange, and we're going to put them in your wallet. Now, that does a lot of things for us, right? I mean, first of all, you get the tokens because you made the purchase, and that's kind of fun. But remember, all of those transactions that are occurring on our blockchain, they all put upward pressure on the value of the reward, right? And so when we go in and we purchase out of the blockchain, what does that do? That's upward pressure for the reward. What happens when we start doing that 10,000 times for 10,000 subscriptions? 100,000 times, 500,000 times, right? You see where I'm going. All of a sudden, there's this incredible amount of energy and activity that's all going into the blockchain to support the value of the reward, right? And it's really kind of exciting to think about because, some people I know come in and they're like, how much is the token going to be worth? And how much is the nodes going to be worth? And how much is and you get a little bit of a sense that they're kind of wanting to game it a little bit, like, okay, I put 1,000 in, and when am I going to, and I would say to you that that might not be the best approach. And I think a better approach is to know that you came in with $1,000 and you became an owner of the infrastructure where all of these future activities are going to lie. And all of these future activities are going to be revenue generating events for the owner of the blockchain. Now, my good friend Stephanie lives down there in Dallas, and she is pretty amazing. And you know, they've got a football team down there. And some of you are not fans of that football team. I happen to be a fan, and I don't know why, because they haven't won anything since 1995 or 97. But anyway, they've got a giant stadium down there called AT&T Stadium, and some of you are very familiar. Yeah, LOL. Some of you are very familiar with Jerry Jones and Jerry's house, they call it, and they spent I don't know how many billions of dollars on AT&T Stadium. And it's a really interesting example, this stadium, because that stadium is bricks and mortar and glass and steel and whatever it is, but it's just a building, right? What makes that building really spectacular? It's the events and the activities and the promote all of the different things that happen inside that stadium. That's where the revenue is generated. That's where the excitement is generated, right? I mean, they host a Dallas Cowboy football game and they fill that parking lot, massive amounts of revenue. Then they start to sell concessions and beer and nachos and all that silly stuff. Massive revenue is generated. Then they start to sell jerseys, right? These jerseys that are made in China for $4, they sell them for $100. Massive revenue that they make. And then they play the football game and all of the massive money that comes from that, from the television networks and so on. It's incredible how much money. Well, that stadium is very similar to a blockchain, right? That blockchain that you've all helped us build, right? You came in and you became a digital landlord and you helped us build this stadium, this blockchain. And now all of these incredible activities, these events, are going to start happening. And they are all revenue generating events that brings power and revenue and money, energy into the blockchain. And there's no limit to the number of activities that can generate that excitement, that revenue, that power, right? And so it's a really good comparison. And so here we sit with this incredibly robust layer one blockchain that all of you have helped to construct. And congratulations, you're an owner, right? And it's like being the owner of a golden goose. You know, I've said some people are chasing the golden eggs, they're chasing the crypto. And one day you realize that what you really should be doing is participating in the ownership of the blockchain. You should be participating in the ownership of the golden goose. And that's exactly what you've done when you've joined us in the Gnodi blockchain. And so we're excited about all these products that are coming out. And I mean, you hear about some of you have heard wind about this health diagnostic application that's coming out. It is simply unbelievable. It's undescribable. You know, they've got multiple millions of dollars into the development of this app. And just imagine this app. These guys, these are all neuroscientists that put this app together. They've just took a lifetime to study the way that we think, the way that we believe, the way that we make decisions, what drives our activities and our actions. And they've kind of boiled it down into just these incredible activities that can be done and tracked and monitored, where self-improvement can be tracked and managed and monitored. And it's very systematic. And here's what's really cool about it. You know, we've had a lot of great self-development gurus that have kind of come along over the day. We've had Jim Rohn and we've had Tony Robbins and all of them. And they're great in what they do. And you leave and you're just excited about, what you've heard and what you've seen. But there was really no way to kind of monetize that process, right? You might be able to take what you've learned and the energy and go out and monetize it through various business applications, but there was never previously a way to monetize the actual concept as you kind of built and went kind of precept to precept, concept to concept. Well, that all changes with blockchain. That all changes, because imagine this. You buy the app, the application, and there's a monthly fee for the application. And of course, you're paid commissions and then you're paid rewards in the blockchain, like we've talked about. But imagine this, every single day, for every activity, for every little bit that you learn, for everything that you participate in, all the different growth modules, right? Whether they're social or mental, or spiritual, whatever it is, right? All of them are associated with rewards in the blockchain. So not only do we have the possibility of kind of growing through the process, but we're earning rewards, tokens, and coins, and we're monetizing that in the blockchain in real time. It's never happened before. It's never happened before. And so I get so excited about the possibilities of this. I mean, imagine being able to bring people into that community, into that environment, and reward them in a meaningful way, right? Not just in a I feel better about myself way and I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm excited, but in addition to that, in an economic, true, valuable value way. Never been done, right? And so many of the applications that we have will be done just like that, right? We'll have a web conferencing tool that comes in and not only pays you commissions on the renewal of that service agreement each month and tokens, but you'll be rewarded for every Zoom that you do. Every Zoom you do will be a reward in the blockchain. Why would we do that? Because we know that Zooms are business building and people building behaviors. We want to reward those behaviors. That's how you do it. You tie it into a blockchain. You know, you can quickly see why, with the advent of blockchain and where this is going, there's no going back. There will come a time in the very near future where the customer, the consumer will demand that there's no going back to just simple commissions and, simple royalties. They will demand some access, some economic benefit from a blockchain, because everything that we buy, every service, every product, every transaction is going to occur on a blockchain within the next 3 or 4 years. That's the way that it's all going, right? And here we are right at the beginning. So I'll just end with this timing at the very beginning of decentralization of the entire world. Everything is being decentralized. Most of it is occurring because of software. Uber, great example, right? Decentralization of the taxi cab companies. Um, Airbnb, great example, right? The decentralization of hotel motel. We come on the scene and we're prepared to decentralize data storage and create data sovereignty, right? That's all done through software. We're going to systematically see all of these major industries and businesses targeted and decentralized in such a way that all of us can benefit, right? And that's the way that it should be. We should all be able to benefit from the economics that we see going on around us. And that's what decentralization is all about. We're right at the very beginning. It's perfect timing. The second part of that timing is legislatively, right? As we see governments around the world beginning to adopt cryptocurrency, we saw this massive switch, this change in the behaviors here and the thought process in America relative to digital currency. And you know what? The other countries around the world aren't going to want to be left behind, and they will be left behind if they don't adopt some of these principles. And so we're going to see governance, the way that the entire industry is governed, is going to change. We're going to see a lot of the lids lifted, right, when it comes to legal and compliance. And from that standpoint, it is perfect timing. It is perfect timing for us to be involved. You see, the SEC just lifted all of their lawsuits against Binance and Coinbase. Yeah, all of them are gone. They've all been abandoned. Why? Because the US wants to be the world leader in cryptocurrency. You can't do that if you've got government agencies chasing people around and beating them up, right? And so we're going to see that begin to relax, and we're already seeing it right now. And that's good because nobody wants to be looking over their shoulder, right? And we've kind of been doing that in this space. Where's the government going to come down? And, are they going to all that's gone. It's just gone, right? And so it's incumbent upon us to say the right thing and do the right thing, right? We're not a security. We're not inviting investors. We're not talking about return on investment. We are none of that. We're not even a crypto project. We are a product-based company that's in alignment with a layer one blockchain that's issuing rewards. That's who we are. And frankly, that's why we're going to be here tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years from now, because we're doing the right thing and we're saying the right thing. And we'll encourage you to do the right thing and say the right thing. Right. And when you do, as a community, we continue to grow. And, we don't have any fear of reprisal from these agencies because we're doing the right thing and we're saying the right thing. The third part of that timing, maybe the most cool part of all, since here we are, is we have just soft launched the Cirrus Networks, which is the marketing arm of the Gnodi blockchain. We've just started. Nobody has heard about us. Nobody knows about us. It's kind of been a family friends thing, but here we are poised to take this message now to the broader public. And so you're in a position to be the one to share the concept of the Gnodi blockchain and where we're going with Cirrus Networks. You can be that person. The world is wide open. I'm looking right now at the people that are involved, and there are some powerful, powerful people on this phone call right now. Powerful people, people that I have known for over 25 years, in one case, over 30 years. And I know the reach that you have. The reach that extends with the people that are here right now has already gone into about 25 countries, right? These are their friends and their families and these leader groups from 25 countries who have said, yep, I want to be a part of this movement, this Gnodi blockchain movement. So we're going to see some exciting things going forward. Obviously, we're coming into our pre-launch. We're going to launch the Cirrus Safe product. We got some other really cool announcements that are coming up the first of the month. We're going to lead kind of full bore, full charge into the launch, which is going to occur sometime in September or October. We haven't set that date yet, but I'm guessing that will probably take place in Las Vegas. That'll be a great event. And so we'll want to put that on our calendars when that comes out. But I just want you to know that we're here for you. We've got these help desks set up. We want to make this experience as painless as possible. We want this to be a fun experience. And, I learned long ago that really when people come into any business, they just want to know that they can do it. They want to know that they can have fun, and they want to know that they'll get some help, right? They want to know that they can do it. They want to know that they'll have fun, and they want to know that they'll get help. And I want you to know we're dedicated to those three elements because they're important elements. We want you to have fun on this journey. We always stub our toe once in a while. It's okay. But we want this to be a fun journey. And we want you to know that you've got help. And we want you to know that you can do this business. You grab your link, you share your link, you get people excited, you bring them to the Zoom calls. I do Zoom calls till I almost go hoarse. And some of you know I had heart surgery last Friday. I could not wait to get back on these calls. I couldn't wait to get back on these calls because I just love it. I feed off the energy of my good friends and associates here. I want to support you. I'm happy to do so. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to do that. Some of you know I came out of retirement. I live here in the middle of Alaska, proof that global business can be built from anywhere these days. And I thought I was retired. I was up here fishing just about every day. And when my good friend Craig Pickering called, but I'm grateful that I took that call because here we are, and I'm reunited with friends from the past. I'm meeting new friends every day, and I am very, very blessed to be doing so.